Greetings, lovelies. Welcome back to the channel for our first episode of Racing Thursdays, where I take a look at various independent and AAA produced racing titles to see which ones succeed and which ones fail to deliver an ideal racing experience. Now, when I say ideal, what I'm talking about is perfect drifting, ideal control, where you have a certain sense of, yes, I can control this car reasonably well for the type of vehicle it is, the size and weight that it supposedly is, and I'm not getting caught up against other geometry, other characters on the road, terrain. It doesn't feel too slippery, it doesn't feel too stiff, and overall the experience is both fair and really pleasing to control with either the keyboard or an actual controller. Now, I'm not sure how many of these games would benefit from a controller, because usually drifting is better with a controller. I actually forget how drifting is with a keyboard, but we'll have to see which works in which cases. Now, unlike Doomwad Wednesdays, I'm not going to be doing a random spinning wheel for this, at least not yet. I don't have quite as many to sift through yet. A lot of these are paid titles rather than free titles, but for today we're going to be going through one of several free titles that I've been able to find, and the first one I wanted to start with is called Wacky Wheels HD. And I picked this one because it's both a Mario Kart clone of sorts, and it's also a clone of sorts of other early racing titles you could have gotten on MS-DOS back in the 90s. In fact, it does say here, race like it's 1994, which is very apt. So let's see what we have here in the description. Before you download, this is a dated version of Wacky Wheels HD. It has issues with working on newer Windows and Mac machines. Okay, so we're probably not going to have the best experience on here. We'll have to see how well this runs. I can no longer update this app due to technical issues, nor can I make a new game due to IP restrictions. What? Huh, very weird. What do you mean IP restrictions? Is this a fan game? The way is back, Jack. The road is a dangerous place, especially when overrun with wild animals and go-karts. This is the official reboot. Oh, it's a reboot. Okay. So it is meant to be a rebuilt game of an older racing title. Interesting. Of Apogee's classic racing game Wacky Wheels. It features the ferocious critters, cramped tracks, and wicked... So this probably was an MS-DOS title at one point. Wacky Wheels HD is an all-new game with unique tracks and features based on the original game and its contemporaries. It draws inspiration from Mario Kart Super Circuit, Konami's Crazy Racers, Atari Karts, and more. The entire gang is back. Uno, Sultan, Morris, Peggles, Razor, Ringo, Blombo, Tiggy, plus introducing Harry the Grizzly Bear. All right. Let's see how well this goes. Also, yes, I do have a new driving controller. Grand Prix, practice, time trial, shootout, and duck shoot? Why are we shooting ducks? Well, I guess we better do some practice first. Looks like Razor's actually... I was going to pick Razor, and it looks like he's somewhere down the middle. So for all the stats, that's pretty fair. Metro Rally. So I think... I don't know why they call it practice if we're just not supposed to really be winning here. Oh, arrow keys, okay. Well, that was abrupt. Huh. Okay, so... My god, that's abrupt. So the space bar is what you hold down to drift, and you just slide into the drift. Okay, okay. We gotta discuss something here. I have no idea what the original game was like, but my god, there are so many problems with this. And I guess it's, you know, it's fair that they gave up on doing updates to it because, yeah, I've got a couple of things to say right off the bat. Number one, the sound effects are ear bleeding, especially when you go up those ramps. I don't know why you would use tire screeches when you could have used something more springy, splooshy, or, you know, some synthesized sound effects that have a more pleasing sound to them. But instead, you're just going right up those green ramps, and yikes, that is hard on the ears. Number two, when I'm drifting... it swings really wide, like really wide. And if you want me to use a drift correctly, the drift has to have a sweet spot where it works to the track's benefit. Okay. There needs to be a spot where I can do the drift and I slide cleanly through a corner, right? If I start the drift too late, then I hit the edge of the corner and go off into the dirt. If I do it too early, I slide into the other side of it, probably even before I get into the corner, okay? But there needs to be a spot where it smoothly transitions through it. If there isn't, the drift mechanics are too broad, and they're just not, there's no use for them. They don't work, right? If I don't have a sweet spot where they work exactly correctly every time, because I clicked the button at the right time every time, then it's not going to do me any good. So there's that for you. I also don't know who keeps hitting me from out of the blue. What are they hitting me with? Huh, okay. Well, in a unique way, holding down and releasing the drift button actually spring loads me, so that's interesting. So the drift isn't altogether terrible, but the sound effects are definitely really bad. Really, really bad. Especially there. And then of course you got the cackling devil up there. That's not very pleasing either. Oh, so K and L. Wait, K and L? Why would those be the buttons I use? Am I supposed to press the drift button with my pinky finger? I mean, I can, but that's really awkward. Why would you do that? I made it in third somehow. Yeah. I'm gonna have to call it there. Yikes-a-rama. Oh, that was rough. So, on a couple of scales, sound effects is dead awful, so that's probably a 1 star. Mechanics are not easy to pick up. I don't even think I saw a description of how they work anywhere. So that's another point in your disfavor. The music, not really memorable. The cast of characters is, of course, taken from an earlier actual game from the 90s. Pretty bland, just having it be a bunch of animals. I mean, you can give them nice names, but they're literally not wearing any clothes, so they don't have an identity other than just being a friggin' animal. And then the track design for that first level, there's really not much, well, for that particular level, like there's not much to it. It's a tiny track with nothing in it in terms of like character or aesthetics. It's not much to go on. And by the way, why is there a devil dropping in with the lap numbers? What does that have to do with the rest of these animals? I don't know. That's search me on that one. I don't know. Search me on that one, folks. I guess that's all the time I have for this first episode of Racing Thursdays. So tune in next Thursday, and hopefully we'll have something a little more interesting. So thanks for tuning in for this Racing Thursdays, everybody. Tune in next time, and we'll see what other shenanigans we'll get up to. Catch you later.